rotate your phone. Why? What?
Why do I have to
There
do
it is. We're live.
Hi! Now we have to rotate
the other way.
ourselves
You
because we
wanna
had to rotate our phone.
Well, try rotating it back. See what it tells
Maybe
you.
I can.
I think they're.
Maybe I can do that. Let me see what happens.
It's better sideways, huh?
Oh, it doesn't like that.
I had no idea.
Can you believe that? But we're
That's okay.
here.
You know, the farther back we are,
Yeah, I know, right?
there we are. We'll all fit in there.
We're here.
At the studio.
Hey. Yes.
Demasked.
This is exciting. We got a lot to talk about today.
And you were here before COVID.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Oh my God.
A lot has changed since then, I got to say. When I came in here, I about blew my mind. I was like, I'm in the wrong studio. This is not a studio. This is the NASA station that I saw on your video, you know.
That's right. And the board, everything's different equipment-wise. The board's different. The new Neve, the old Neve consoles here. The blue lights. You see the blue lights.
Love the blue lights. Very cool.
I have a new amp built for me by Gary Peel. You see that red one over there?
Yeah.
Special. He has one and I have one. He plays with Boston, you know. Fantastic amplifier! Oh my God!
Oh my gosh!
We'll show some of those things.
Yes, I'm gonna ask for the tour. So
Okay.
no worries on that.
You know you have to hold the phone there. You don't have to walk it around.
Right? I'm gonna actually have to do two things at once.
Oh my God! No gum chewing.
No, that'd be too much.
Hey, we have to say hi to Ian, right? Ian.
Oh, Ian!
You know, we were going to have Ian, I thought, on the live feed here, but he's shy.
He's so shy.
You know,
Let's do a shout out.
During COVID, he spent a lot of time in his house naked, so he didn't think he should be on the screen.
You know what? I caught him once.
Whoa. He's going to kill me.
I know.
Sorry,
right?
Ian.
What can I say, Ian?
I mean, part of the reason we're doing this is because months ago, Ian got a hold of me. He goes, I have a really good idea. Dyanne and I are talking about it, and I'll let you know, Ian, we're going to talk about it. And then you guys came up with this Robert Berry Appreciation Group, which I was not really comfortable with, right?
Oh.
But it's, well, it went from 3.2, which was the albums and the band, and since this is the last album, you both had the idea that I've worked with a lot of people, and if it was me and who I've worked with, instead of just 3.2, it would have a bigger reach. And at that point I was comfortable because, like I said, we're going to get you in touch with Gene Pearl from Hush, Roger Bonacera from Hush, Gary Peel from Boston. You'll be talking to all these people, and hopefully they're fully clothed, unlike
well,
Ian.
You know, Ian is just, he has to be all that, you know. You've heard that, right?
Yeah,
he
he's a
just has
show-off.
to be, I know, I'm telling you, it's really terrible. You know, I think we have some people that are already tuning in here. Let's see who we have here. Excuse the up-closeness.
Yeah, right.
Paul Keller.
Oh, you got to watch him.
Yeah, you got to watch him like a hawk.
I told Paul we were on today, so.
Oh, okay. We have Greg Golder. I hope I'm pronouncing this stuff right.
Your vision's better than mine. Oh yeah. I don't know that name.
Oh, Rebecca's on. Well, what do you know?
Rebecca came by to meet you this morning.
Yes, she did.
And,
oh, she's such a sweetheart. Oh, oh my gosh. I know why you married her.
No, here's the problem. I do these teacher videos showing her teach.
Yes,
and there's 350, 500 likes. People are, oh, you're fantastic. I have a new album out. I get 2 likes. You know, come on. I can't have that. Divorce is going to happen any day now. It's in the wind.
2 likes.
Our anniversary's coming up. I don't think we're going to make it, honey. We're not going to make
Rebecca. You know, all that, right?
And everybody, there's a line for me now.
Yeah, there is a line. Oh, look at this. Hi, love you too, she says. Oh. Yeah, she's listening there, so, you know.
We have so many things that I'm going to try to show you that are unique to the ELP and the Emerson people and stuff. You notice that Devil of Liverpool is playing in the background.
Yes.
And
your latest single.
Yeah.
The latest video.
Latest video, yeah. I was really pleased with that. It was voted on the site, which song it should be.
You guys voted.
Yeah, that was kind of nice because it is an unusual song for the way it was written for me by being in a taxi cab in well, actually, Rebecca and I, where this guy told us a story. And then I thought, wow, I love that title. I put it on my phone, Devil of Liverpool. Oh, yeah. Then I tried to research it, and I couldn't find anything. So it's all based on this story this guy told us, who grew up with George Harrison, evidently, and knew everything about Strawberry Fields and all that, like the Beatles tour. Well, we got this whole devil, come on, mouth, of Liverpool thing.
Excuse me.
That became this thing that was really cool for me.
It actually is very cool. In fact, the video is very cool. I like that whole, early period photos and the money and just the whole story.
You know what? It's funny.
Fascinating.
Bernie, up in the Austrian Alps, I say, but I don't think Austria has Alps. They have hills. Bernie is the video guy that does the lyric videos for me, and through my manager Nick, who knows him well. It's amazing what that guy does with the lyrics and the feel, like A Bond of Union, what he did for that song.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It was almost like watching a movie, And Missing Piece he did too. He did all of them, except for Fond Farewell, the first one, which was more of an acted out video done in Italy.
Yeah.
But he is so good at it. And lyric videos aren't that exciting a lot of times, just the words going by underneath the song, pictures. But he makes it come alive. It's really something.
He really did.
Yeah.
He really did. Because I tell you what, the Devil of Liverpool is just, it's a song that I get stuck in my head. And then I think of the video.
Yeah.
And now the video's playing in my head. And it's got like this whole thing going on.
It's funny. He wrote me, he goes, Robert, this is turning out really good, but I can't find the images of the English pound note that I want, so I have to use American dollars. And to him, now you've not even thought of this, most people haven't thought about it, but there's a lot of dollars, there's some pounds in there too, but it's Liverpool, so it should be pounds, right?
Yeah.
And to him, he was trying to really make it authentic, but the guy took people's money and stuff, so that's all that matters,
That's exactly what all it matters, and that's exactly what he does, doesn't he? Now let's see what we got going on here. Oh, look out! Paul Keller's watching. Let's see what else we have here.
You got to watch out for him.
I know he keeps popping up in here. You know that.
I said, Paul, I have an interview today. Diane's come by. He says, I hope you get the job.
Well, it's still out there. We still haven't decided yet.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Let's see. We also have Aaron Hickley.
Aaron Hickey? Is that Aaron Hickey Grudem, a very old friend of Rebecca and I's? Yes.
Oh, okay.
And
Hi.
I's, is that right? Rebecca and I's, Rebecca and mine. Well, Robert Schindler, fantastic guy.
Oh, Robert!
He helped us load in a few places. He's fantastic.
I love Robert.
Has a new album out, I believe.
Ah.
He has more keyboards than me, so I tend not to talk to him too much because
I see Rolf too.
Why would Rolf show up?
I'll tell you, he busy. Pops in out of the doggonest places, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You can't trust him.
He's got this girlfriend that I thought kept him busy, but evidently not.
Evidently not busy enough, right? We're so bad. See, that's what happens when you're not here, and we can talk about whatever we want.
I will say, and I've said it before, but Rolf single-handedly relaunched 3 on Facebook years ago. Put all the stuff up, sort of got the ball rolling. The Live in Boston came out, which I'm not sure if I have that over here, if this is a different one. This Boston came out. Yes. He really started getting us comfortable with the fact that people did like 3. We were so criticized for me not being Greg Lake and Keith playing songs back in '88. That we didn't know what kind of fan base, and Rolf proved to us, and to Keith, because that was important, that there were people that really liked that album and appreciated it for what it was in a time when Yes was doing, Owner of Lonely Heart, and Genesis were doing, and Phil Collins was moving on to more of the rock with the progressive. And I always thank him for that. Rolf, I mean it, because I probably have said it more times than you want to hear it. But and then, of course, Ian and Dyanne have taken up this new thing, which we hope brings in Maybe even Christopher North from Ambrosia will talk to you. Keyboard player, he's a fantastic guy.
Wow.
We'll see. You know, Greg Kinn will talk to you.
Oh my goodness
they're all
sakes.
going to complain about me, but I don't. It's okay.
That's okay. We can deal with that.
Let me show something here.
I would love to get a tour of this studio. By the way,
Well,
just saying. You know, I bet you there's a lot of people out there watching right now. They're going, please pick up the phone. Please pick up the phone and show us around.
well,
how'd you like to do that?
Spit out your gum. Okay.
Okay.
You know, and I'll show you the different instruments and things too.
I'm going to take you along for a ride. Here we go.
So, we might as well just start. I'm going to pull this chair out. So don't sit down.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit down. Trust me. In fact, I'm just going to turn the phone around here.
You're
so
probably going to have to unplug it. If
yeah, I
we're
was
gonna
just
go.
thinking that too.
We got to see the
There
vocal
we
room
go.
and stuff.
There
too,
we
you
go.
know.
There we go. Now we're free. Now we're free to roam.
One thing, you see that I keep a lot of pictures of the guys I played with. This is Cabo Wabo with Sammy, and there's another picture of Sammy and I, and David Lauser's back there from Cabo Wabo in the mid-'90s when I 2 years with Sam, and that was pretty thrilling. And I think I've told you this before, but when you see the Circle play, and they are fantastic, Sammy is still amazing.
Really?
But the keyboards when you do Van Halen stuff is me.
No,
It's me playing.
Shut up.
I'm not there,
Oh,
but
you're
it's
there.
digitally recorded, and I put it on this
wow.
little 4-channel box, and Jason Bonham puts on the headphones, and the keyboards come out. Now, the cool thing for Jason is that I have a CD that the guys in Ambrosia gave me of Led Zeppelin, just the drums, right? House of the Holy, maybe the album is.
Wow.
And
Just
John
the
Bonham at one pace goes, 1, 2, 3, and he counts off. He's kind of drunk, you know. And so I took those count-offs, and every song that Jason plays with Sammy, he hears his dad counting them off, and it's pretty cool. And he called me. He goes, I wasn't expecting that. How cool is that my dad count me off every night? Wow. Just on the Van Halen tunes, you know. Not Sammy doesn't want him in the band. Jason, but John Bonham is actually on the stage too. At least counting.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
We
He's
went
there.
to Tahoe to see him just because I wanted to hear it. We didn't tell Sam we were coming. We were out there in the audience, and it just sounded so good. You know, he is really, you know, I don't want to say at his age because he's not that old, mid-70s, 74, whatever.
Hey,
but he's
we're
kicking
all,
ass.
We're all good, right?
I'm 90.
Hey,
so.
I'm well, I'm a little higher than that, but, you know. But we
This
won't
is
go there.
the Memory Moog, which I do all the Moog stuff on. Now, it's not a Moog modular, but as far as I know, the Moog modular plays one note at a time, maybe two, as all these oscillators. This will play 6 notes at a time, but I can put them all onto one note at a time, make it really big and fat.
Nice.
And I use that a lot. You know, this is one of my cherished possessions. I don't know if you can see this here, but this is, I'm going to get my pointer out. This is
Let me get in
something
here.
Aaron Emerson sent me.
Oh, look at this.
When Aaron
I hope
was,
everyone can see this.
you know, Aaron was maybe, he's 15, 14, and we were rehearsing, and Keith had to drive him to, I think it was a dishwasher job. And so I said, I'll go with you. So Keith and I are in the car, and Aaron's in the back seat, and he is just not happy, sort of grumpy back there.
Oh.
And Keith's going, come on, you know, it's a job. Yeah, I don't want to. And I turned around, I said, Aaron, and it's on. I'm going to take this down for a second.
Oh my gosh. Look at this.
Whatever you do, do it well. That's. I looked around, I said, Aaron, whatever you do it well. This, to me, is an honor to think that he remembered that and told his son the same thing. I mean, it just,
Oh my gosh.
it really is something.
You're tearing me up.
And
Oh
he
my
sent
gosh.
me this. Look at that. I mean,
Oh my
just
gosh.
really incredible. And
Oh my
of course,
gosh.
they signed it, you know, best wishes. I mean, it was very special. I'm very close to the family. Rebecca is too. She only met him once there, and they
Yeah.
loved her to death, you know?
Oh yeah.
And,
I would be in her class if I could.
well, and you better get good grades,
I
because she
know, I
doesn't
would
put up.
have to.
She's a taskmaster, let me tell you.
man, tell you true,
Yeah.
and man, those exercises, man, I have to climb on board. Now,
Yes, that's
I don't
right.
know. Maybe I better rethink that.
Because I'm speaking about Aaron, let me show you a guitar here. This is a first for the ELP people at the Titan site, because
Oh.
they have to be huge Lee Jackson fans, right?
Oh yes.
At
Oh,
least-
they are.
Now,
They are.
what I didn't know when Three was together and we did Rondo America and something else, they were really nice songs. They weren't ELP songs. ELP played them. But Keith started that in the Nice. The Nice was really the band that did the thing that ELP gets credit for.
Yeah,
and
that's true. That's true.
I was a big Greg Lake fan, so don't get me wrong.
Oh no,
I mean,
Greg's a genius and an amazing.
When people would say, "Yeah, you should get Greg Lake back in the band," I'd always say, "I get it. I'm a fan."
Totally get it. But
I've been looking for this for about 10 years.
we're in his amazing room, by the way.
Lee liked this, playing this Vox
my.
bass, because he's left-handed, and this.
Can you see that? Okay.
Yes, they can see.
Oh my.
So I've been looking for this for 10 years. One just like his. Ian is, I'm going to ship this to Ian.
Oh.
And Ian's going to go about 25 minutes down the road. Lee Jackson's going to sign it for me. And my dad sold Vox when I was really little. He had the Vox store here.
Yeah.
Never seen one like this because it has different pickups. And the color and everything about it, this is like Lee's. And
My gosh.
it's
Beautiful.
that I found it. I can't believe it. But for me, it's a piece of that ELP history. Sort of where it started, you know? They really broke the ground. And Lee Jackson was the guy. And I got one.
There you are. And there you are. How long have you had it?
I've had it 2 months now. I mean, I just got it recently. It just popped up and I grabbed it off eBay. I couldn't believe it.
You must, I don't care what it costs.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I didn't tell them that, but it was one of those
Of course
things.
not, but yeah.
You know, you've seen this before, but I will.
I probably want to see it again.
Yeah, I'll bring this out because my influences on bass are Chris Squire and Paul McCartney.
Oh my gosh, I know what you're going to do.
Yeah, and they.
Oh my gosh.
You know,
Yes.
Oh, there goes my. So, Chris Squire signed this for me when we opened for him here in San Jose, and he didn't want to sign it. He goes, "I'll sign the pickguard." He goes, "I've never seen one just like mine, original, because it has a certain horseshoe magnet on it,
Yeah.
and the neck is very thin." It's 1969, I think, and he took the finish off his. His was blonde.
Yes.
It looked, but it was the same exact bass. And he said, no, it'll ruin the value if I sign it on the wood. I go,
It'll ruin the value.
I said, what? Come on, Chris. We had the same manager, Brian Lane, you know. No, let me sign it on the pick guard. I said, no. On the wood, he goes.
Chip me.
He sort of rolled his eye. All right, geez. He was not happy about it.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well,
I
I'm
have a
glad
few
Chris
things.
did that for you.
Few things that are bass worthy in my life that mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
And of course, this was the bass
Oh,
for the
bass.
3.2 tour
Yes.
2019.
Yes.
And I bought 7 basses, and none of them, you know, you saw the show.
Oh, yes.
It's extremely hard show for me because it's 2 hours of singing and playing hard stuff.
Yeah.
And the bass had to sort of fit like a glove. None of them did. And this one, this is a Steinberger. It did. So this was my number 8th bass that I bought. And it's the only one I can do the show on.
And it works, and it looks so good too on stage. It looks so good.
Yeah,
Sounds great.
It's a great bass. It's I'm trying to think what else is in here. Well, I said McCartney's an inspiration, so
Oh,
I do
look at
have
this. Oh my
some
God.
things hanging around that are never played, but
Oh my gosh.
I feel them behind me when I'm working the Pro Tools up there, you know.
Oh my gosh. You've got quite a bit of history in here.
Yeah, and a lot of it, you know, every day I do music for somebody.
Yeah.
I have clients every time, and I play a lot of instruments, as you know. So they come in, and that's why we're looking at the studio.
Yeah.
Here's a Korg Oasis keyboard. They've never made a better sounding synth than this. It's amazing. Keith had one. He played it for years. They're big. They're heavy. Now they have a smaller version. I don't know if it sounds as good, you know, but this one is, it just doesn't get better than this. So I keep that on at the Moog. Some of these things here, now we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at this stuff, by the way, people.
The Ambrosia,
Love it.
you know, Alliance, the first year we got together.
Oh my gosh,
You know,
yes.
I had Dwight Clark in here. The Catch, I had him sign that for me.
Oh my Okay. Keith, my Keith is gone. He's gone go.
You like that? Yeah. Well, he was in. Jerry Rice was in here. Jerry Rice, and now Dwight Clark was originally. I said, I'm not a sports guy, but he goes, yeah, I'm the catch. Oh, before he even said it, right? Yeah, the catch. He was like, Now Jerry Rice was the nicest, mellowest, easygoing guy you ever met, and he's a pretty amazing guy, right?
Oh yeah.
He's in doing narration. They had him in the vocal booth, which I'll show you in a minute. And in L.A., they had him on the speaker. No, we'd like you to do this. For 3 hours, they grilled the guy. No, dude, say this. Okay, let's try it this way. No, give me two other ways. And he did it, didn't complain. At the end of that 3 hours, he goes, look, can I do one more take? And, okay. Wow. Push record. He read through it. And the producer goes, well, that was good.
Why don't they just leave it to the person doing it,
Yeah, well, sometimes the sports guys don't speak so eloquently.
Oh, you mean with that, you're a really good catch there.
Greg,
yeah, I listened to Keith
Greg Ken,
look at that.
And this is a picture I think you've seen before when you were down here, but that was from our video shoot for Talking About, and Sirwin Vega, the speaker cabinet company, was our sponsor for the whole tour. Wow. And they printed that poster, and nobody can figure out the graininess of it, what filter they used. It's like one of a kind, and everybody loves it, but it's not your typical dot. I mean, you get farther away you get, the more it looks like us, but...
It's not. It's
crazy.
It is. It's almost... Well, I can't describe it, actually.
It's really something. Now, there was somebody that came to see us that printed these pictures and put them in a frame and gave that to me. Her name is Candy. And...
Oh, Candy. I know her.
Not Candy, Will's wife.
Yes.
No, it wasn't her, though.
Oh, it wasn't her. Oh, okay.
I don't think. It's Candea or AE.
She's DIE.
Okay, this was AE. Anyway, she signed... The other one is signed. I have it in Capitola or our beach place.
Gotcha.
And they gave this one to my parents. She went down to my dad's store and bought one of the pianos that Keith had signed. He signed like 7 or so Korg digital pianos from my dad. Yeah. He just thought it was great that my dad had a piano shop, right? He loved that. So he signed them, and Candy came down and bought one. Then she came to the shows, took some pictures. I think she came to 3 or 4, maybe 5 shows.
Wow.
And all of a sudden this beautiful, look at that. I mean,
this is
beautiful frame,
absolutely
non-glare glass, the whole thing.
I hope you guys can see this okay. Oh my gosh,
there's Paul down there, look at
pictures.
That. Yeah.
I like that picture of you down on the bottom there.
Yeah, I don't know how she got that close, I don't know what that was, but...
oh man, these are awesome pictures.
So there's some mementos around here,
This over here.
A guy that was involved with Ambrosia did that. When I was with Ambrosia, he made this for Hush with our album, and there's trinkets.
I hope you guys can see this okay. I mean, this is what you were talking about a little earlier that everyone couldn't see. This was...
Well, that's a 2-inch machine where we used to record on. This is 1/4-inch machine where you mix down to.
Okay.
But the amp that Gary built me, I'll get this out of the way, is here. And I said, if you're going to build it for me, it has to have your name on it.
Oh.
And this is one of 2. And you see, it's all special. It's really something.
Wow.
He put 2 different kinds of amps into one, and you get both sounds, and it's just amazing. Oh. I'll show you some other trinkets that I don't think I showed you last time. I keep them up here because on our tour, guys would give us gifts. And what was nice is that the fans, the Keith fans, the keyboard player fans that were mad at him for doing 3, forget them.
Yeah.
But the other guys and all the new fans, especially the 20-year-olds that heard the hit and stuff, they'd bring us presents and stuff. Look at this.
Let's see what you
out of silver.
Oh my gosh. Look
Isn't
at
that
this.
Cool? And you notice
Tarkus.
I keep them. I didn't pull this out just...
Jeez, this is
You can
gorgeous.
see they're tarnished too because from 1988.
Oh my
But
gosh.
I keep these here.
I hope you guys are seeing this okay. I hope I'm within range here.
I'm
be.
sure, yeah.
I should be.
And look at this.
Oh my
It's
God.
just sort of amazing. Look at that. It's all tangled up here. But close enough to see.
Oh my
3 to the power of 3.
Oh my goodness.
So, and these actually live right here on my little
I
Casio
saw
piano.
those. I saw those little pouches when I
Yep.
came in.
They never move. This is part of the new setup, right?
Oh yes, and let's take a look at that setup, right?
Like so many things, you know, with like the Lee Jackson bass. I've done so many interviews now. I told you I have 2 in the morning usually, start at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, then I come into work all day. I'm tired, but I'm loving it, you know. I've worked tired all my life. I can keep doing it, but I'm starting to get beat down a little bit. But it's so cool, and I tell people that working with Keith and Carl, what that did for my career is like, people don't have to see all these different things I've done. They say, well, so do you think you can do this? I said, well, I played with Keith Emerson. Oh, okay. Right? It's like, my God, if you're good enough to play with that guy, you got to have something going, right?
You got something going
It has blessed my life in ways you can't even
sure.
understand. You know, it's just
I'm
amazing.
sure. Yes.
Let's see if we can go
What
through a
else you
few
got
other
going on
things
here?
When I was at Abbey Road working, I got to play these pianos. I bought this picture. These are the 2 pianos that were done at the end of A Day in a Life. Boom, the big chord.
Wow.
They still have them there. So I bought this picture, and I have a picture of me somewhere playing them, a video, and that was kind of a thrill, you know.
Going on here. You're gonna take me on a full tour.
You know, this is when you walk in. But you know, my dad had a
yes.
Vox store, so I have Vox. Like, you have to show this
Let me
Super
show-
Beetle. This is the Vox AC100
there.
Super Beetle. And here's the Stones
Look
and
at
stuff.
that.
My dad had the Vox store, so when I was little, I was this tall, and they brought this in. I'm looking at these Vox amps, and this is just,
this
you
is
kind of
so
walk
great.
into this,
Look at
you know.
this, Sergeant.
And if you're
There's a
at all
piano.
interested in
Oh.
Beatles album covers and stuff,
Look at this.
stuff all over the place, you know.
This is such a cool place. It's my playground.
Well, it's a museum too, because this, when you used to go into a restaurant right here, if
Yeah.
you look at this speaker, you'd come in, you'd sit down, and you'd be at the booth, and you'd say, "Can you play Elvis, Hound Dog?" And someone in the back would put on the
no
record,
way.
and it would play through the speaker. You didn't select it. You could see what you had to ask for, what they had, but you had to talk to them through it. Isn't that cool?
Gosh. This is so sweet.
So
I see you can drop money in there too, right? Or is that something
give it a
else?
try. I've actually made quite a bit of
yeah.
money off the thing. These days, it's better than streaming.
There
you know?
you go. There you go.
Uh-huh. So yeah, this is so cool because it's early on in the jukebox stage,
Oh,
which
it
was a big
is.
part of music. Even in the 60s, I believe, jukeboxes in restaurant, different places, artists made money at them. And this was before that, even, you know, when you had to talk to the person in the back putting the record on. That's something.
I can't imagine. I can't picture it.
Yeah. Come on through here.
I'm following.
I record a band called Los Tigres del Norte, which is the Mexican Beatles. They have 14 Grammys. So it's a little bit of a mess. This is really the bass booth, and there's amps in here and stuff. But the bass player would be in here in the booth. But it's a mess.
There's
So we won't keep it too. Yeah, there's a Vox in there. The guitar player would be back in this booth.
Oh, there you go.
So and there's more
Sound
Vox
deck
back
on
there
there.
too.
Yeah, I see that.
This is the Yamaha C7, a
Yes.
grand piano, which was one of Keith's favorites. We used one on tour, and he tried to get me to buy it. I just couldn't afford it then. And he goes, "You
love
should
the
buy that. I can get you that cheap now. I mean, we used it. It's used." I said, "Keith, I can't afford it." I think it was maybe $11,000, $12,000 then. I just couldn't afford it then, 1988.
Oh, yeah.
And-
Well, that's a lot.
Well, 10 years later, I spent $20,000 on one. So, and that
I
was
love this too.
the little
I like the little carpet under there.
yeah. Just
I like that. I like that. Huh?
this was the board that was here last time. You were here.
Yes.
This was my
That
old
board.
recording console, which I had for 30 years. It did every album, everybody that recorded here. Ambrosia, even 3. You know, we were doing stuff. We recorded through it, some of our demos and stuff. But I need to get rid of it. But it's like an old
eBay.
friend. You know, it
I'm
paid
kidding.
for my life. This console paid for my life, and I don't want to get rid of it.
No, I don't blame you.
I need to though. I need the room.
Okay, people, we need to talk to Robert. than to, give it up. I'm sure that there are some people out there that would love to call that in their home.
Well,
that won't happen though.
Now, this Hammond B3, the last time you saw it in a video, is the end of the Devil of Liverpool when I'm doing the B3 solo. I drug it out there, and I just had it repaired a year ago, like all made perfect, right? It's old. It was with Hush.
Actually, it looks like one Keith would have played.
Well, he did play this, and if you see, that's broken in there, and a key there was broken, and I think one in here he broke. He plays so hard, because when we rehearsed, he'd use this, and he broke a couple keys, which I never heard of before until he'd be doing it, bang, and
I thought it was just knives he put through keys.
no,
Evidently, a little bit more than that. If you guys can see that.
well, these are from the 50s, and they're
They're probably a little bit more fragile too, I would think.
But this one, after I used it for the solo Devil of Liverpool for the video, I drug it back over here, didn't turn it on. I needed it last week, and now it doesn't work.
No.
And I spent like $1,500, $1,800 just a year ago to get it all really nice, right? Thinking, so now I got to get it fixed again, because there's nothing like the real thing. Keith always used a real thing. We didn't use the sampler Hammond B3s and stuff. Used the real thing. Made sure the roadies earned their pay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This in here is more blue lights and where the vocalists go. This is the mic that I use when I'm doing my vocals. And I only bought it for the rules that changed. This is a $10,000 microphone. It's a Telefunken C12, a special mic. And it was so important to me when Keith and I started working that I had, the piano was all perfect, the Moog was perfect, the B3, everything was perfect, right? Yeah. I got newer drums, everything, and I had to get a great mic because after 27 years, I'm not doing another follow-up album. We were going to do it, so I was going to make sure everything was the best. When I turned this album in for mastering, the rules had changed. The mastering engineer who had done 6 or 7 albums that I had sang on called me and said, "Gee, your voice sounds good in this album." I thought, finally, I found the mic, because he hears everything. He hears all. He works at Fantasy. He was originally with Creedence Clearwater, mastering their stuff. So he's been around a long time. For him to call and notice how good the voice sound, this microphone is worth the $10,000. This is a Neumann U47. We use that a lot on people too. It's a very expensive mic, but this is part of my guitar collection. I take pictures of the ones that are signed. This just happened to be in here. Sammy Hagar drew a little art for me on the Cabo Wabo guitar. You see it's that Cabo Wabo in the neck.
I hope you guys are getting this
David
okay.
Lancer.
I hope I'm not getting too close.
Yeah, and I think you're okay.
Right? Honest people.
Of course, Gary Peel's with Boston, and I got a guitar from Tom, where he actually Tom Scholes drew the Boston logo on it for me, which is cool.
He did.
And there's Gary.
Wow.
It's something,
That's awesome.
Part of my guitar collection is
Boston
getting
is a great
people that I've worked with.
Yes, and you've worked with some of the best.
I got a couple here of guys I didn't work with. That's Eddie Van Halen. But Fitz, the keyboard player for Alliance, did the keyboards and the background vocals behind the curtain. So he got me an Eddie guitar, and Eddie signed it. 1 of 5, signed it on the wood for his maid.
Oh my gosh.
And Greg Kinn, there's Steve Miller's here. There's guitars I have that are signed, so I put them out here in the pictures so people, just stuff.
Hey, it is stuff, but it's
Part of
very
the vibe.
cool stuff.
Yeah.
And in fact, this room looks really familiar. I think that there's been some video of you doing rehearsals.
Yep, rehearsals.
In this room.
3-2 was here. Jimmy's over there, the drums.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yes, a lot of people have taken video in here. I wish this pole wasn't here, but I have certain things on it that it needs to be there, or it'd be a much wider open room. But Los Tigres does their recording and rehearsing in here, and there's speakers that are built in the walls for them, so they can walk in and plug in and start working.
This is so awesome.
I'm trying to think what else is.
Wow! Look at this, guys. I mean, this is quite a place. This is seriously. You think Disneyland is the place to go? It's nothing.
Well, you see Robert Schindler's his room. He has like 20 keyboards all in one room there, so he's got a playground there too.
Yeah.
And I'm not happy about the competition.
You hear that, Robert?
I'll show you something. I'm getting rid of a lot of equipment, which is out here in the lobby.
Uh-oh.
It's just stacked up here now. This amp top and this speaker cabinet is what I used on the 3 tour back in 1988, and those are still the best. It's an Ampeg SVT. I gotta sell it. I can barely lift the damn thing. It's so heavy. This is the spare amp from the 3 tour, and then there's new speakers I got along the way. This is a Korg B3 sounding instrument that Keith helped design. So
Keith's hands are on that.
yeah, well, his imprint is on, with the little distortion and key click and stuff. Mm-hmm. And he didn't actually play this one. This is, for what we do, this was not good enough,
Oh.
But he helped design it, and back in the old days, And all these CDs and stuff.
Look at all this.
Most of these are artists from around the Bay Area that have recorded here that you've never heard of before.
Oh my God.
But then there's
Look at this.
there's some like here's the Rush tribute. Subdivision.
yeah.
Here's Tempest.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of Tempest stuff.
Lots of Tempest.
Here's the tribute to the Titans. That's actually the ELP one, isn't it?
Oh, isn't that
No, that's
our
not
group?
it. That's all kinds. December People's first album.
I don't know. Tribute to the Titans, actually.
Yeah, it's not. That's all the. That's like a greatest hits for Magna Carta Records.
Ah.
The ELP one is somewhere else.
Oh.
I don't know where I put it.
When there's
I
3.
got the 3s in there.
Ah, looks
My
good
first
too.
solo album for Frontiers. Actually, no, that's Prime Cuts. That's Magna Carta 2. That's all the stuff I did for them.
Oh,
More
nice.
Tempest. I've done 13 albums for them. Tim Volpicella is a very well-known jazz guitar player from around here. Pangea, a great progressive rock band from Texas.
Really?
That I did a couple albums for, and then I worked with, I don't know if you've heard Roan Soul. I worked with the drummer for that on a project called Roan Soul. That's more like an Ambrosia kind of thing.
Really?
And, here's Greg Kinn's last album that we did over here.
Oh, yeah.
There's just so much history of
This
the
is
local area
amazing.
in my life, in here.
This is absolutely amazing. Look at this. This just keeps on going.
Yes.
It just keeps on keeping on.
Teddy Clemente, that's who this is here. He's a great artist that we've done some albums with.
Oh, look at this.
All kinds of stuff.
Oh, there is. This is awesome. This is so awesome.
And then, of course, the Studio Microwave.
Oh, wait a
You
minute.
can't miss
This looks
that.
familiar.
There, that's it. That's the ELP tribute album. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's
I
got
just
some
found that guy.
of the best work. Simon Phillips, Jordan Rudess, Mark Wood, plus my friend Trent Gardner did the other half of that album,
Wow.
and John Wetton sang on. All kinds of people.
my
I think
gosh. My God.
it was a great time in the '90s when progressive rock wasn't really happening, and
Yeah.
Magna Carta kept it alive. This is where Rebecca has to get into to ship CDs.
Oh,
And,
yeah, okay.
the fragile stickers, the picks that were, where's the ones? I sent a pick with the rules have changed that had, okay, it's in here somewhere. Really? Well, maybe not. It had the first album cover on one side, another album cover on the other side. It was a special,
no way.
special thing. There's all kinds of promos that.
Oh,
Everything almost sold out on the tour we did, but there's some more Pilgrimage to a Point to have here.
whoa.
Alliance stuff. This is just stock of
Just stop.
stuff.
I'm like drooling over
I
here.
think you have this.
I do have
Saint Nick's
that.
pick. Okay, I think I gave you
do
one of those.
have that, yes.
All kinds of stuff. The other thing I have that I just keep now for myself. I sold them on the tour for people that wanted them. There's a special deal. Let's see if I can get it out of here.
Oh, now I'm serious.
And
Oh, I bought one of those.
yeah, and I only did a few. I didn't press that many of them. I have a few left here. Just because
Wow.
along the way, if you didn't have one, I'd give you one right now. But you have one, so you don't get another one.
I do have
Okay.
one right now, as a matter of fact. I should have had you. Ugh, oh, no.
But, you know, there's just some people that I think
Oh, my gosh.
should have that.
Well,
that I
absolutely.
care about.
I had to have that. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
had to.
in
Just
his own
had to.
hand, his notes for
Yes.
the tour, you know.
Yes.
So come on back here.
Yes.
And I'll show you one thing.
I recognize this room.
You can, I told you I had this for you.
Oh,
And the only thing is that somebody circled it and underlined, this was probably a radio station, but this is the single, 12-inch single of Talking About.
oh my God.
Maybe it was played once, maybe it was never played. It's so cool.
It's beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Excuse me for sneezing.
Bless you.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. But
Thank you.
this is just cool to me to have one song on a vinyl where the grooves are really big, the sound quality is the most amazing.
It is cool to have one song.
Yeah,
It really is cool.
they just don't do that, I don't think, now. And vinyl's big again, and
You never know, maybe, right? Maybe someday.
they might. We'll deal with that later. I'm going to put it here with your computer, though, because
Oh
I'll
my
forget
gosh.
it. You know, that's the new album. You know, I did this, the vinyl on The Rules That Changed,
Yes.
and a lot of people have seen this. It was important to me because we have a vinyl on the original one that, you know, you can touch it, you can feel it, you can read the things better.
Yes.
It's a nice, high-quality vinyl album.
Yes.
I think part of society, what we're missing a lot today, is the newspaper being delivered. You touch it, you read it, you become a little more connected with it than having your iPad up and reading the news, right?
You're more, you are
There's
more connected.
something, there's
like
an
you
emotional
said, yeah.
connection. To me, there's an emotional connection to this, of course. But
Yeah.
to have it, and to have the red one, the first one, and now to have the blue one, which is in print now.
Oh my goodness.
Now, I made 300 of these, and they're almost gone. But the blue one, I'm only going to do 200 of. Call it a mean streak, whatever, but I want it to be rare. I want it to be hard to find,
you.
and I don't know what, it's just something I want to do, you know?
Well, you have to follow your heart, you know.
Yeah, and I do. I mean, I really do. It's just, you think I don't do it to make money, because it costs too much to do the vinyls. I got the rights back from the company to do the vinyl on it, because they
That's
wouldn't do it.
awesome.
And it costs so much money, but I sell it for, you know, $25 an album instead of the 45 and 50 that people charge.
Oh yeah, it's
And-
amazing. Some of them.
Yeah, even more than that, I know.
Yeah.
But there'll be 200, and it'll be very rare. I think I've already sold 75 just pre-orders, so. Are you one of those?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, absolutely,
No.
I did right away. In
No.
fact, as I got my T-shirt on order, absolutely.
You know, and that's one thing I want to talk about too, with the amount of time that you and Ian spend, and Rolf, on the Facebook sites, to find the pictures, to type up things, to talk about it, to promote this. I've seen 20 different posts, right? It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, but heart and soul too. You have to want to. Because if you get up and you go, oh, I'm going to help that damn promoter.
You can't do it.
You don't want to be like that,
No,
right?
You can't do that.
And
You
the
have to
care
do-
you put in is so immense and so great. The same thing happens, at least for me, when I'm pressing vinyl, or you can probably just point this over here, but look what I have to do to, and these just came in. So this has to get stuck on the outside of this mailer, right? This is the return address.
Oh, gotcha.
This has to go inside it.
Uh-huh.
Here's my copy of the 12-inch single. I would just call that a 12-inch album. Then, because I want them perfect, I don't get them shrink wrapped. These just came in too.
my
I put them in these super clear resealable things, right? So by hand, I got to stick it in there. Right? And Rebecca actually does a lot of this for me. So, and then right in the middle of all that, you run out of tape. So,
Oh, hello.
so here the tape's in.
The tape. You have the returns.
The boxes,
The box is
I only have
ready.
like 3 of these left. I should have 200 of them tomorrow back in. The albums won't be in until the middle of June, though.
That's right.
Third impression. It takes
That's
10
right.
weeks to press, 8 weeks to press. So
Well, we'll be patient.
that's going on. The T-shirts, same thing. Now, I had to have someone design the shirt. And I don't know if I can get the T-shirt up where you can see it.
Let's see.
I know you've seen it maybe online, but I'm
Yeah.
sort of waiting to get them to have Rebecca model them for me.
Oh, there you go. Ooh,
I'm going to close this down, this session here.
isn't this an amazing? This is so
Let's
amazing.
see if I actually can get without anybody seeing how
Well,
much
I'm gonna put my little attention on you, and that way you can
Okay.
look where you need to look.
Let's see here.
And I
Here
promise
is-
you, I'm not looking.
Okay, well,
Sorta.
this might not show. Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
it shows.
it'll show.
So, if you notice, I'm not selling big pushing third impression. You can barely see it here.
You're right.
It's black on black.
You're right.
It's a little bit gray. Same here.
Yeah.
It's late, but music is life. Life is music is the way I want to end this 3 series, the 3 albums. I wanted some nice saying. It says 3.2 in the middle, but it's not huge, you know.
It's classy. To me, it's
Yeah, it won't get any bigger. Yeah.
it's
I
nice.
I want something nice that's clean, that
That's
looks
what
good on
I'm
the
trying
shirt.
to say. Yes, that
Yeah.
it's clean. It is a very clean look.
And again, you know, they're being sold for they cost with the shipping and all this stuff. They cost a lot of money to do, but it's all part of this 3 package, you know? This is it. It's done after this. And I want what is out there to be of the best it could ever be, at least according to what I am capable of, and at one point what Keith was capable of, and at one point what Keith, Carl, and I were capable of, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about these shirts. They're being printed right now, but you know, to get the artist to do, that was my point, I got off track, get the artist to do the same and get 3.2 and then third impression in there. And I kept saying, no, that's too bright. No, that's too much, you know. I really want it to be subtle. And I can show you probably on my phone a ton of, look at this. These are all
Oh my gosh.
the
look at
3.2 with the infinity sign, all this stuff. No, this, you know, the big 3. None of it. It just wasn't subtle enough. And then I came up with the music is life, life is music. I thought, that's what this
That's
is about.
beautiful.
That's my life, right? That's Keith's
is.
life. That's
That is.
why we like progressive rock. I mean, it's really musical stuff.
that. It's why we're
So-
all here.
Yeah, I think so. It's,
You know?
it's not for the hit of the week.
No.
You know?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
So there's that. Here's one more thing I thought I'd show you because I don't think I can grab it that quick,
Okay.
but I have somebody that asked about Fond Farewell, the keyboard sound.
Oh yes.
And I'm gonna apologize to him right now because I forgot his name and I meant to write it down. I've been looking at so many things on promotions and everything and working in the studio that I'm just not smart enough for all this, Diane.
Well, actually, I think he'll understand. I think he'll
No.
understand. I saw him this morning too. I saw it, and I'm like drawing a blank here because, yeah, there's a lot of people that are throwing stuff out
Yes.
there.
So Charles Butler, this is for you. So the horn, the big brass sound on Fond Farewell is big. It drives the whole intro. You go, oh, this is going to be a 3-song, or is this Emerson sound? What is this?
Oh yeah.
And he wanted to know how I got it. And it's interesting that it doesn't take just one sound. So this is, hear all the echo in that. That doesn't sound anything like what that horn sound is. Then I have this. Now that's an Oberheim, which I have tucked away down there. Keith used that a lot, touch and go and stuff, E.L. Powell. It has a little bend on the front
Yeah,
of the
it
note,
does.
right?
Yeah.
That is really important to that sound. Then I have that's really dry and stabbing. That's the Oasis over there.
Okay.
Then you put them all together. Plus the other keyboards that go during it. Big, you know. Then you have to come up with a bass sound that you can hear through all the huge keyboards. And the drums. To be tight and punchy.
It's sassy to me.
And you have to be able to dance to it.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, people. I know I'm moving all over the place. I know, it's all over the place.
But he asked me about it, and it was interesting because this was the last song that I wrote. Everything was done, and I looked at the album and I said, you know, this is what I want it to be. This is half the 3 sound and half where I'm going to go next, because Keith's gone. I can't do it. Never is the last song we ever worked on together, and it's on this album. And I'm not going to do a 3 album all on my own. I'm just not going to do it. I didn't really want to do this one, but once Aaron heard this and said, "You've done a hell of a job finishing up that song," and again, I thought, you know, let's let people hear the one little nugget that I kept for myself.
I'm so glad you did too, by the way, because it's a dynamite song. I don't know how else to say it. Everybody loves this song. It's got some great, I mean, it's so Emerson, especially in the middle. It is. I hear Emerson throughout so much of the album, you know, in a lot of ways. I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me when you listen to, you know, well, of course, one of my favorites, Top of the World. I'll just pick one out of that. Well, no, but I hear him. You know, you just hear those subtleties that just go, is that Keith playing or is that Robert playing? You know what's funny? Because it sounds the same. And I didn't realize it. I didn't think about it till this album. I started doing interviews, and people said, "Well, you only did one song with Keith, but it's like the last album. It really sounds like he's there." I said, "Well, let me put it this way: Talking About, which was our top 10 hit, was a song I wrote, and it has that Emerson big fanfare chord thing. I wrote that before, for the Robert Berry Band here, before I joined GTR. Steve Howe and I did a version of that, with the fanfare being his guitar going, wow, wow, wow. Oh, okay. So it had that, and if I should have got my original demo out, because it had the fanfare and it had the Keith chord formations, because I was an Emerson fan, don't forget, you know. So it's not only in my DNA from working with him, but before I even worked with him, I loved what he did and that the brass and the stuff. Yeah, so it was already part of me. Yeah. Now, you figure I worked a year rehearsing, writing, and then recording the first 3 albums. And if this was Keith's hand, I was like, oh. You know, because I had 10 years of piano lessons. I knew what he was doing. I couldn't do it. I wasn't as good as him and never could be. But I knew what he was doing, and it made sense to me, and it just got absorbed more and more. So I'm hoping that I can pull away from it a little bit now, because I won't do another 3 album. The next thing they might go, well, it sounds like Emerson's in the band. I go, I can't help it. Though. No, that's okay, because it's part of your sound. It is part of your sound, and I think that if we didn't hear that, I think that it would sound just a little less than Robert Berry. You know what's interesting, though, is, and you've said it, so I'm just going to throw this out there. I was doing half 3, half where I'd go next, which is more like my time in GTR, which is half guitar, half keyboards, like Asia is. The perfect match of guitar and keyboards. That's more my individual style. Yeah. When, of course, with Keith, it's keyboard heavy, and I love that, you know. Yeah. But nobody else can do that. Nobody can do a keyboard band where the keyboards can take the place of guitar, except for Eddie Van Halen. When he did Jump and stuff,
it was amazing because it was like whatever he did covered it. He made it work in the rock world. Pretty amazing, that guy.
He did.
So, Top of the World is one of those songs that I said, I need to do something. I'm writing this song. This needs to be half guitar, half keyboards. And I'm going to start it with a minute of Celtic acoustic guitar. And I'm going to put it first because if people are willing to give a listen to the album and go with it a bit, they're going to go, a minute of acoustic guitar? Where's the keyboards? This should be a keyboard album. If they stick with it, they might grow with it. Of course, the second song is What Side You're On, which is heavy keyboards are really pounding.
Yes, yes.
And if they don't like it already, they're going to cut it loose, and those aren't the people I'm going to be able to take with me to the next album anyway. And here, what do you say? Miss ELP Titans likes Top of the World, which is fantastic, you know?
Love Top of the World. One thing I really love is the changes where I'm going to try and do this right, but it's when you're going to go into the I'm on top of the world, I'm on top, you know, and you've got the drum goes into a different rhythm, and the bass is strong, and I'm like, oh, sorry about that, people.
The phone's going like, earthquake, under the desk.
You know, honestly, I know we're here in the Silicon Valley, but really, it's just
so.
But I just, there's something about that I can't get enough of.
Yeah.
It galvanized to me. It's something I listen to literally, no joke, every night when I go to bed. I put my headset on, and it's Top of the World first, and I have to play it twice. Sorry.
That's enough time to go to sleep because it's almost 8 minutes long? How long is it?
And then I have to have Liverpool next. Then I have to have Bond of Union.
Nice.
And then I have to have, now I can't forget all the orders that I have everything in. Yeah. But those are like the first ones I have to have because
that's great.
I have to hear them. I have to hear them. It's something that is inside my blood.
Well, you know, I'm going to say this, and I promised myself I wouldn't because I don't want her to know. Oh. But Top of the World is about being inspired by people around you or by someone, right? To do your best and being supported by someone to do your best. And Rebecca has made me feel like no matter what I do, the top of the mountain. I can go for it. Yeah. It's always. She's just a very positive person. I'm a positive person. Well, you know, she came in and you guys wouldn't let go of each other.
I'm inspired by her. I'm empowered by her. Are you kidding? It took all of that long.
Yeah, I know. She really
she's great. She's
made
really
a big difference in my life, and it shows in lyrics and so many things, you know. Yeah. I love it here at the studio. You can tell. I never sell anything, you know.
Jeez, I love it in here.
Yeah. Well, there's 100 guitars you haven't seen in the back corner, so.
Oh, well, maybe you know. At some
point. You know, someone called it my sandbox today. I like to talk about my toolkit because I do so many kinds of music. I used to do, when I was in high school and college, I worked at a studio that did all the Mexican mariachi music. And I recorded mariachi music, and once in a while I do a Mexican commercial, a Spanish commercial, and I can do mariachi because I understand it. And I played a little trumpet in elementary school.
Oh,
so I understand it. That's why Los Tigres lights it here. Yeah. I don't speak Spanish, but I know their musical language, right? And whatever the music is, I did a blues thing the other day. You know, my rock stuff with Alliance is different than the progressive stuff with Keith. Yeah. Music is just music. But to be inspired in a positive way all the time, it sort of keeps me creative and keeps me going, you know? So I didn't want her to know that because she goes, gee, did you write any songs about me? Yeah. Oh, which one? I'm not going to tell you. So hopefully she's in one of her ISP meetings, whatever that was talking about, ISP. Where they're bawling out one of the kids for not doing the homework.
Yeah, I'm sure one of the kids are crying their eyeballs out right now.
Let me show you this in the middle part. This is what blows me away. This is just the middle of what Keith No, I couldn't use Keith's stuff, you know. That doesn't sound like Emerson writing, but this up here are all files he sent me. Again, that big keyboard sound. That's the green one.
Okay.
So that's the mode.
Oh, that's the Moog. That's the Moog right there.
That riff.
I got that riff.
They're sticking with you. So it's just,
Oh, sorry.
no, it's okay.
I just.
For those of you that are throwing up at home from the bumpy ride,
I've been all over the floor here, people.
that's how we do all this stuff together. You know, there's other
This is
parts of Keith's.
amazing.
You know, look at this little section here that he sent me that I put at the end. Of course, there's other stuff. It's just so classic Emerson.
It is so Emerson.
And it just made this song the perfect ending to the three trilogy, let's say, you know?
Yeah.
And so many bands seem to milk it to the end, and they do whatever they can, change members. People said, well, you had a great band on tour. Why didn't you use them? Well, why didn't I use Jeff Downes? Why didn't Jordan Rudess do it? Because they have their style. This is a 3 album. This is Keith's style. I know it because I was half the writer and the voice. Keith was the sound and half the writer. So together we had the whole package. Not that Carl didn't make a big difference. His drumming's amazing.
Oh, his drummer.
But
Oh, man, his drumming is.
but that was the easy part for me.
Oh.
Because you don't put all that fancy stuff into a song. You put it in between, you know, so I didn't have to do that stuff.
Well, no,
But
it takes all three of you. It
Well-
takes all three of you. Three.
I upped my game in the drums for this album, too, like at the end here.
Yeah, I sure can.
I will tell you,
Sweet.
it took some time for me to... I really wanted the drums to be as good as I could do in this album, you know, and
You were amazing on those drums because that's part of what top of the world that grabbed me was that just that
The
change
beat,
of that
yeah.
drum. I mean, it's so powerful.
so I just thought it'd be nice to deconstruct a few songs.
Yes, absolutely. This is
Here's
great.
one of the things you were talking about, I think. See if I can find it, actually. The Moog. So filter sweep. There it goes.
That is it.
That's the Steinberger bass I took on tour. It sounds so good. And I've never done this before. You know, I've never deconstructed something for people to hear those parts.
So we're first.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of fun for me to hear it again, you know, like this, because all I can remember is the struggle trying to. That double kick drum is fast for me. You know?
Oh.
It's that fast.
That is fast.
I don't do double kick very often. So it took me, I came back another day and worked on it again.
Well, you know, no, we won't tell.
So let me show you something else that's a first.
Okay,
And you want to.
I'm gonna put it on.
Yeah, why don't you put it on, and Stan, you can face it this way too, and let's plug it in here.
All right.
There's your
Oh yes.
your cord.
Yeah, my cord. Okay, people, hang on to me. This is great, isn't it? Okay. All right. Just making sure we're still live. It says we're still live and going. Let me see here. Oh, I think we ran out of time just now.
You're
Yeah,
live
we're
now,
my
but
live.
I think
Well,
that
man.
Facebook is saying it's Dyanne
I
again.
tell you, it's Dyanne Klinko.
So show this quick before it turns off. This, my friend owned the cabaret here where 3 played 2 nights for the big radio station.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to play my hometown. The owner of the place videotaped the whole show without me knowing.
Oh,
And when we were done, now this is just a piece of it, but when we were done,
oh my.
I think this is the beginning to Lover and Lover to Lover.
Oh my gosh, look at you.
Yeah, I have to say that Keith hated it when I played Tony Banks kind of stuff from Genesis. I love it, right? Because I did it in, I think, Do or Don't or something too. Yeah, it's... Now, you see Jennifer back there. Hopefully they show Paul in a second. Because he has 4 cameras. There's Keith.
There he is.
So I'm not going to show too much of this. But, oh, was that Paul?
Jennifer Steele, the lady in black. Let's hear it for Jennifer.
There she is. Carl's introducing her.
Somebody I know.
Yeah, I didn't usually wear the white shirt. I usually wore the black one, but for this I wore the white one for some reason. There he is.
Oh!
Paul! Hey,
Hey,
Paul!
Paul!
Uh-oh.
If you were here last night, you know exactly what we're going to do now, but if you don't, this one's an old one. It's an instrumental. Goes back a few years. That's the musical hit. It's what you might call a barn dance.
Oh my gosh.
This one's Hoedown.
So I'm playing the violin thing.
By the way, I don't know how you can play that. Look at that. It's, by the way, my favorite song. I play that on my birthday every year. First song.
We
First
played
song
it so
we did.
fast, I don't know how Keith did it.
Oh,
But I have it. Look at that.
look at that. Look at that. Like effortless.
See those kind of moments.
Hold on.
It's
It's great.
we just played it, you know. I'm going, didn't we just play that, Keith?
Oh, that's awesome. You look
So,
great.
we're going to release this eventually. I tell you why I haven't done it, is I have probably 45 to 55 minutes of rehearsal footage and little tour stops where Keith's like having the piano tune or he's warming up in his barn, working on a few things. You might have seen Rolf has a one I sent him, just a little snippet of Keith putting the bee ears on and playing Flight of the Bumblebee with the glasses and stuff.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's from those home videos.
Oh my gosh.
That's On My Way Home, I think, huh? Or was that Do or Don't? And there's the piano solo. I mean, look at how close it is. There's no video of 3. There's nothing of a live show except for the Atlantic party. So
Nothing.
this is it. And look at that. Look at him.
Oh gosh. You can feel him.
Oh, yeah. The whole thing, he's just always lost in it, you know? Just, he's so deep.
Yeah. Yeah. Check you out.
And we're rocking, you know?
You are rocking.
This is why Keith called me when Live at Boston showed up at his house and said, Robert, we are a really good band. Because he had been so turned away from it by a couple of fans that wrote him letters that he never looked back until he listened that night. And he just sort of begrudgingly put it on because he had made some money, you know. And he goes, no, really. I said, well, I always thought so. He goes, no, really. I mean, we were on fire. The music, it's so, the playing, you know, the energy.
What do the Mammalians say now? You were fire. You were fire. And you were. Absolutely.
The Shadows of Love, it was Carl's idea to do it. And, I mean, it's got some crazy playing in it when it gets...
Oh, check out
Look at
Carl.
him. Look at him.
Wow.
Now, I have... This was live broadcast on the radio. I have a fantastic recording of this show.
Do you?
And it will be matched up to the video because the audio on this is just okay. But between the two, it'll be a really nice stereo recording. And
Oh, this is going to be nice.
it will be it. This is the last kind of thing and something that we thought was lost forever. I forgot about it, tell you the truth, about 2 years ago.
And now here it is.
Yeah.
And now you've shared it with a bunch of very grateful people right now,
people
including
know.
myself.
8 Miles High.
8 Miles High. I love
This
that
was
song.
one of the funnest things. You know, I got to show that solo.
Yeah.
Here's Carl's banging on the rhythm stick. That's actually a drum pad thing.
I had no idea there was such a thing. I'll be doggone. So
No, I
you
don't
can
know
get
what-
out there too.
I don't know what I'm telling Keith, but he's laughing, so that's good. Okay, well, that's, there's a place where Carl and I beat on the instruments.
Oh shoot! I moved the phone, people. I'm sorry. I think I'm level in there, aren't I?
Oh, here we go. There might be the battle, you know. People didn't see the show, they wouldn't know, but he would bang on my bass with his drumsticks. Anyway, I don't want to show any more.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it, people. It was a tease.
There, Keith and Carl in front of the stage.
Look at that.
Is that, they
When are
had
you
so
going to
much
ever
fun.
see that? When are you ever going to see that for real?
And the thing about us was that ELP didn't do, we had loose ends. We were okay with it. We'd jam. It'd be different
you
every night.
guys
We'd
look
have
like
fun.
You're having so much fun.
And I think that's about the only thing Keith ever said. You know, there's no drama. It was a lot of fun doing the 3 thing. Before he heard Live at Boston, when he realized how good we were, you know. So that's in the pipeline.
Oh my goodness sakes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have a seat now before I absolutely go. Whoa. I actually have something for you, and I'm gonna give it to you right now. So he does not know I have this, but somebody does. Let me see. This is just a little crooked. Sorry about that, people. There we go. So I have something for you, Robert. This comes from a very good friend of ours in the Titans group named Terry Levine or Levine.
I recognize that name.
Okay, well, I hope so. This is an early birthday present for you. From
We don't
Terry.
talk about birthdays. You
I
didn't know
know we don't, but guess what?
Rebecca didn't clue you in?
We spoke.
No birthdays.
We spoke.
Birthdays that date, and we don't live by dates. We live by achievements. What are we going to do tomorrow? March forward.
Well, guess what we're going to do today? We're going to celebrate.
Don't tell me that's those
By
naked...
the way, his birthday's on Saturday.
That porno that I did, you have pictures. Oh my God.
I'm just trying to get this up without showing it to you right out of the gate. And I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Oh, okay, there it is. Okay. All right, so here we go. I'm nervous. This is so exciting.
It's like on TV, they stretch it.
I know, right?
We're not to commercial yet.
I know. Here we go.
Okay.
This is something that Terry Levine wanted to do for you.
Oh, wow, look at that. Now, it seems to me
Terry drew this.
like I've seen other things. That's why I know his name. Other things he's drawn, right?
Yes.
How nice. Look at that. Yeah, could you have him take a few years off my age? Wow, thank you, Terry. That's really nice.
Isn't that
fantastic?
Isn't that amazing work?
Yeah, he did. Wow.
And we're going to post that everywhere, of course.
It looks like a human being, actually. You know, it doesn't
Can you
look.
believe it?
Nothing looks phony about it. It looks
I know.
like.
I recognize that guy from somewhere.
You know, it's not.
But he had to give it away because I couldn't really figure it out.
It's not any worse looking than I really am, so that's good. It looks like me, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, a little bit of Brad Pitt in there would have been nice, Barry.
I don't know. Around the eyes, you know. Could be.
Yeah, very good. Oh, thank you. That's really nice. Do I get to keep this?
Yes, you do.
Cool.
Yes, you do. And I believe that Rebecca will be talking to you about that.
Well,
her and I have secrets.
I don't listen to her.
You should.
Yeah, I know. She knows how to field dress a deer. That's what she. You know, I know how to field dress a deer. That's where you
Let's see what
butcher it, basically.
Yes. Let's see what we got going
with one
on.
eye open.
Let's see. Looks great. I'll buy it as is. That's from Davey. Now you have good eyes too.
I have one good eye. Let's see.
Fern.
Oh, I hope that video footage can be posted. No, it won't be posted. There's a lot of work to do on it. Seriously, a lot of work. The sound and everything and editing. But
Here, come in here. Let's see.
it says that Davey. He said he'll buy it as it is. See, that's the thing about that videotape. It is the real thing, and there is no such thing. You know,
There really isn't.
I have one video I took of myself in Florida. I think it was one of the last gigs we played, and the soundboard was, I don't know, 1,000 feet. It was way back there. It was way back there, and I put my video camera back there. It's such a distance you can't really hear the band that well, and the band's about this big in the video. But I have the whole show on my little video camera. It's just sort of useless, but.
You got a lot of comments here popping up here. Let's see.
Yeah.
Nice
See,
work.
Erin says we don't celebrate birthdays. She knows. Erin knows. She's known me a long time. All 35 years that I've been alive.
Saw the tour in Atlanta. Absolutely fabulous.
I didn't know. Oh,
Robert
that's cool.
Schindler.
Yeah, he's the one that has all the keyboards. I keep telling you that. Can we defriend him or something? He's just trying to piss me off.
I don't know. We'll have to look into that.
That guy.
He gets around, right? He's just always popping up in there. Let's see.
And Linda said, "Oh, there you are." I guess that's when it went off. Lost you for a minute.
Honest, we're back. We
Yeah.
have to watch that time because you know what? Facebook just has an issue about talent and going longer than like.
I find that you can't hold a glass of vodka and a camera at the same time. That's the problem.
Is that my problem? You better go put that down.
Wait a minute.
Wait, hang on a minute.
Problem.
Commercial. Okay, what else we got here? Let's see. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Lots of people watching. Let's see. Dwayne Farrell's watching.
Dwayne. Dwayne said he had to work. I told him to quit his job. Evidently he
Evidently.
did. Yikes! He's going to want some.
He's gonna want some money.
Hey, I was just kidding. I don't have any money. He's going to come down here looking for a paycheck. Dwayne, you know what? Let me show you something that Dwayne did for me.
Okay. I'll just stand here and go. See what we got going on here. See if we got any more people.
Dwayne Farrell showed up with Rolf.
Oh, Aaron says, I have stories.
He did the merch with Rolf in about 6, 7 shows. He came down here at first, had a friend of his make these out of stained glass. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Oh, they look great on my door.
Yeah, I bet they would.
Man, they're beautiful.
Unfortunately, they're also good for clunk.
Yeah, right?
And there's the last album.
Oh, they're beautiful.
And Dwayne tells me that he's doing the next album too, so I'll have all 3 in stained glass and all 3 in vinyl, and I'll put a display somewhere around here.
Yeah.
And isn't that beautiful though? I mean, that's really great work.
Beautiful.
Just great work. Real
You
stained
do
glass
very, very good work. That is amazing.
And I have to show this.
Oh my land.
This is a coaster for 3. Put your coffee cup on here. And I believe he not only sent it to me as a gift, but he made it himself. This is from Ed Morgan.
Oh.
Look at that.
That's from Ed.
So these are kind of treasured gifts, like the things from the 3 tour. I try to keep the stuff. If people care enough to do something, I want to make sure I hang on to it.
That's nice. That's nice. That's really nice.
Yeah. We can't.
I like that.
Can't move on without mentioning Ed.
No, we cannot. Can we?
He huge supporter.
Very well missed.
Yeah. Now, you know what? I'm going to show you this too.
I was looking at that.
This is from Frontiers Records, and I don't have them on the new album because they're right in the middle promoting it now. But look what they do. This is all the reviews, every magazine, every interview. This is for the Rules That Change. I mean, it's page after page. They do fantastic work. Look at this, the playlists, press releases, interview. They put it all together. I have one for my solo album from them too. Oh my gosh. Look at this. It just keeps going and going.
Oh my
It's amazing.
Sakes, it's great.
The amount of coverage you get. And that looks like, what is that from? That might have been from a Greg Kinn gig here. Let's see that picture. I didn't have, we hadn't toured yet at this album. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's from a Greg Kinn gig. David Lauser on the drums.
Oh, yeah.
And, there's still, look at a ton of it.
Wow.
Isn't that something? Some stuff, Steve Howe there. Some
Oh,
stuff from
there's
GTR,
Oh, that picture actually looks familiar.
That's probably on my
I've seen
website.
it before. Yeah. I think
There's so much stuff on the website. Rob Fowler, my very good friend, he does the website. My guitar collection is on there too if you look in the right place.
Oh, well, I have to check that out.
It's sort of hidden in there, but
That's okay. I can check.
You'll see that Eddie Van Halen guitar and some things. A lot of these guitars aren't even on there because these are they're not new guitars, but they're new to me as far as using them in the studio and everything.
So you know what? I'm going to check out those guitars, by the way, too. I'm going to check that on your site. I had a couple questions.
I'm not sure I have answers, Diane, but go ahead.
I'm not sure I have questions. No, really. No, really. During our COVID time, a musician like yourself, producer, and doing all these wonderful things, how do you keep going when there are so many restrictions in place?
I almost hate to say, my business at the studio was 75% of normal. I work with, let's say you write a song and you sing. You come in and you play guitar and you sing it. You come to work with me because I can do everything else. And your neighbor down the street that's in your band that's a drummer likes to play all this junk that you don't want. and your guitar player in your band likes to play lead all over your vocal, they don't know how to make a record. So my business, 5 days a week, is people that come to me as single artists because I know how to make a record, or I know how to make a foundation for their voice in the music. So 75% of normal business-wise, because it's one person at a time, except for Los Tigres del Norte, who are all over 60, 170. They have to be super safe. I spray every doorknob, light switch, couch, everything with alcohol every day. Super safe. They came in maybe 4 times in 2020. I let Tempest come in because they only make money as a band performing Leaf tours and does albums. I've done 13 albums, so I did 2 live streams for them. No charge, had them come in. I said, look, let's do this. Get the tip jar on there. So you're making some money so you can survive this year. And he made a Live at SoundTek album out of it, which is just a thrill to me to have recorded here, actually put out on Facebook Live and recorded here at the same time. And then I had Third Impression that took up the other 25% of my year recording wise. So I hate to say I lived as normal, but I've said this a couple times to people. I have a coat that I wore in 1988 at Madison Square Gardens that has Purell in the pocket today, a little bottle, because I'm a singer. I can't afford to get sick. I can't afford to have germs from like a menu. You know, if this was a menu at a restaurant and it was plastic, I'd be going, you never know, and I'd wash my hands or I'd use the Purell. If you sneezed, I'd be a little bit, it's not the same as being germophobic. It's not wanting to be sick because I have to be able to sing. So I sort of always live the way people are going to have to live now.
Yes.
You know, even if we don't have to, why not wash your hands? You know, I don't know about the mask thing. I'm not a big masker, although when I go in, I wear a mask, don't get me wrong. But I don't wear it going down the street because me personally, and not everybody feels this way, but I think since we're born, we pick up little microcosms of something in the air as we go along, not strong enough to make us sick, but enough for our bodies to build antibodies. And I believe that we have antibodies against a lot of things because we're exposed. I'll use the water in Mexico as an example. If you've ever been there, you better not drink it. But the Mexican people there can drink it. Doesn't affect them whatsoever.
Right. They've built up that
immunity.
immunity.
They have the immunity to it some way.
Yes. You know, it's funny that you mentioned that too, because I got real sick over this, during this COVID thing, and not COVID.
Yep.
You better make that clear, right?
Yeah.
No, I had bronchitis, and so because we had the masks and we were using the Lysol anyway, I said, why don't I isolate myself in the spare bedroom, put a mask on and wear it in the house and spray everything down. And then
so nobody else gets the cold or whatever.
That's the whole idea, is I thought, and let's not transform that from me to you. And you know, he never got sick.
Oh, so your house with your husband. I wonder whose house you were in.
Yeah, no, I was in my house. No, I'm
Dyanne,
sorry.
where were you?
I wasn't really clear on that, wasn't I? Yeah, I was in my own house, and Keith, my husband Keith, it was just him and I. And every single time one of us got sick, the other one got sick. It just
it's just
happens.
the way it is, yeah.
But when I put that mask on, Lysol, washed my hands, and isolated myself, amazingly, I got over it. I felt quicker. Yeah. I didn't have that, what did they used to call that? When you got sick, you got well, then you got it again. They called it...
I know what you mean, but I don't know what it's called.
I can't remember what it was called. There was a thing. It was called a thing. And I used to always get it twice. Always got it twice. And it's because we didn't use masks before this. So it's taught me a little bit of a lesson. I hope a lot of people at least think about that when they get a cold or something. I hope
that's not the new normal, but I hope sort of sanitizing your hands and sneezing and being sanitary inside when you're in a group of people. I hope that becomes the normal.
Yeah, a little bit more conscientious.
You know, when people have a mask on, they're driving in their car. Rebecca, set your timer. She's ready for a drink.
She's like, okay, hang up now. Let's go. Oh, gollies. And that'll probably pop up in 10 minutes. So I'm going to have to see if I can get rid of that, but I can't on here. So I've got it.
That's okay.
So
We've talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we are. Let me see if I had another question.
While you're looking there, I'm going to say again that this site has changed to the Robert Berry Appreciation page, right? Or group?
Yes, the Robert Berry Appreciation Group.
Okay. And I was not comfortable with that because you're going to appreciate me? No, it's not about that. And Ian came up with it, talked to Dyanne about it. Then they presented it to me. I said, I don't know. I mean, they said, look, 3 is ending with the 3rd impression. You have a whole network of people you've worked with. We can add them all in because it's the people you appreciate. They'd appreciated working with you, whatever. And it made sense to me. Thinking, well, that's kind of cool. You know, can have Andrew on here from the 3.2 band, David Lauser from Alliance, Gary Peel is in Boston. All these people, they can be on. My guys in Hush, I've talked to them, Roger Bonacera, drummer, Gene Peralt. Have you talked to Paul before, Paul Keller?
Only
live.
Only at the club.
Yeah.
We talked about what it was like to play ELP music. Yeah.
So, and Paul, I mean, Paul has a memory. I don't have a memory. My thing is, what am I going to do tomorrow? How can I stay viable in this business and what ideas? But Paul, he remembers everything. I don't know if it's good or bad, but in this case, it'd be good, right, Paul? I mean, you can ask him, ask him, say, well, Paul, I heard something about that you and Keith sort of double dated, but the girl like you and Keith is mad. That kind of thing, you know.
Oh, man. That's not a person you want around all the time, not for everything.
Maybe you shouldn't ask him that. Now I'm going to be in trouble. But no, he spent a lot of time with Keith. In fact, Keith liked working with Paul because Keith could play doodle-doo, doodle-doo, and he'd go, Paul, can you double that? And Paul would go, yeah, doodle-doo, doodle-doo, and Keith would go, oh. And they'd play it, right?
Wow.
And he has a good memory. He could do the harmony parts, on the guitar, the keyboard, all the stuff. Keith really liked working with Paul. Plus, Paul's a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
We don't hold that against him.
No, we don't.
But you'll be talking to Paul. Who else? I mean, Jimmy. Jimmy has a great career. He was in a Sylvester Stallone movie. Come on, he's a child actor.
Oh, that's right.
The Wise Guy or something, I forget the name of the
movie.
movie.
He's always a wise guy.
Yeah, he is a wise guy. Who else? I'm hoping Christopher North from Ambrosia will talk to you. I really like Chris.
That'd be great.
He's a fantastic guy.
Oh my gosh, that would be so great. Lots of great stuff.
All kinds of. Greg Ken will talk to you.
Oh my gosh, you hear that? Now, so that means a lot of people are going to get introduced to a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
Which is going to be really cool. That all is under the umbrella of Robert Berry.
And that's what you guys explained to me, and I was good with that. It's just I see the Robert Berry Appreciation Group. That just feels wrong to me, But I get it. It's a bigger reach, and it's talking to... I've been very, very lucky and fortunate in my whole musical life. And I love bringing all those people into this thing. There's so many people you can talk to, and you're good at it. You're fun to talk to. Ian is a great guy.
He is a great guy. Oh, I really like him. Yeah. I like working with him.
Rolf takes up the 3 charge on that, so Rolf now 3 and 3/2, they don't cross over quite as much as far as their intent, but still, Rolf has so many pictures of information.
Thank you, Rolf.
Yeah, amazing. And he'll find more, no doubt.
I don't know if you heard that I actually like looking for pictures.
Oh, I know. You're... What did they call you, the detective,
Yeah, that's right. Keith calls me CS Die.
Yeah, it's crazy what you find. I see pictures of Keith, I'm like, and people that know all his pictures, I go, I've never seen this picture. Where'd you find that?
Is that me? Oh, yeah, I'm sneaky. I got my magnifying glass out. I call it my rabbit hole,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. My rabbit hole. Sometimes I have to go down with dynamite when I get to a low spot.
That's more like
by golly,
Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd cartoon, huh?
Exactly. But I find that void. I'm telling you, and I crack open to some stuff. Sometimes I do some sneaky stuff. I take a video and I just do grab
I'll
some
find some.
shots.
Of course, yeah.
I'll shoot stuff off of a video and then make it into a picture.
Yeah. Well, that's not that easy to do. I've tried to do it, and they come out blurry unless you know how to do it. So
yeah, there's
you know,
a couple of tricks that I don't
I know
talk
you
about.
touch them up and everything too. So
I don't talk about a couple of things. But
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. I love doing it. I love doing it. You know.
Well, you do a really good job.
Thank
I was
you.
so excited
Thank you.
when Ian had said, talk to you about once we lost Ed, which was a very sad time, but how do we replace Ed? Well, you replace it with somebody that's a pro and that really knows this world and how to add content, because that's the name of the game, is content, right? And people like that.
It is.
You do a great job. I want to get Ian, and we can't get him on now.
You know what? I might be able to get him on my computer, possibly, if we want to
He's a
try
pretty
it.
big guy. That's not a very big
I
computer.
know,
don't
it's
know.
not very big, but it'll have to reach, but I could try
Well,
if you want.
It's late for
It
him.
is late, actually.
He's in UK.
Oh my goodness sakes, no, he's probably in bed, right?
Well, it's 12. Well,
Well, you know what, though, he'll be up at that time.
yeah, once in a while,
I'm going to do it.
I go to bed at midnight or something, and
We're going to see if
I'll
we
be
can get Ian on.
sending him a little note saying, "Hey, Ian, I'm going to send that bass over to you to get Lee Jackson to sign," and he'll answer me. I go, "What are you doing awake?"
Well, I'm gonna go grab him.
He's been a great addition to this whole team, especially
He's
European addition to it, because we're supposed to be in Europe with the 3.2 band last year, opening for Big Train, and I need a roadie, and so you're going to be carrying equipment if we come next year. So you just remember.
Well, you better be coming down, Southern California.
We'll see. We got a few things in the works, and of course we have to do warm-up shows here. And Alvis, I love Alvis Showroom. I would love playing there if they'll have us. And you have another place closer to your house, so you can bring the soup to us.
Trust me, my door is going to be open. The drinks are going to be on the table, and we're going to have big pot of spaghetti, and I can't spit the words out right.
Well, it won't be before we play. Because
it might be interesting.
The set is way too hard. We're going to add Fond Farewell and What Side You're On to the set that we already did. Get rid of a few things, and we can't play Never. It's just too long, and it cuts out too many other pieces. But Fond Farewell we have to do. And again, Top of the World's too long. So it's just, there's so much music over 30 years,
I know there is. Well, I'm going to try. Let me see if I can try.
While you're doing that, I'm going to see here. Paul Keller, he says, "I'm watching." he says, "Do you know where my keys are?"
I don't know. Robert couldn't find his keys earlier.
Yeah, Paul's watching a lot. I think Paul's working. He has a great job, high-tech job, and he keeps going back and forth. I think he comes back on when it says Paul's watching, or else he's trying to pad the.
Paul's always watching.
Don Zickafoos is part of my social media team.
Oh, Terry sent a photo.
He does a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And Jamie.
He's not reaching.
They do the post on Instagram and Twitter and all that. You see all the things, just getting the stuff for the album, just ordering it, putting them all together,
right?
Getting it mastered, having it pressed, keeping the studio going, doing interviews all the time.
Yeah.
I just can't do everything. And Don, he's sort of like I was with Keith. Don is a sort of a fan of the music and somebody that works with me too on that, and so does Jamie that runs the company. And it's so nice to have people that like the music, like you do, and like Ian does, and Rolf, that are part of this team. This sort of hours now passed.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Wait, what?
But
I saw it's up that set alarm early, not late.
Yeah. It's such an honor.
No.
And the sad thing is, and I have to say it, that Keith did not do well with criticism. He was criticized when he did Live Voltage, what it was called in England.
Oh, yeah.
When he came back, it went pretty good, and he called me, because we were talking about finishing the album when he got back from Japan and seeing his grandkids, but he said, yeah, it went okay, it wasn't that good. I was like, oh, okay. He seemed not happy with it, but then again, working on the Rules of Change was sort of his happy place, so I didn't know how unhappy he was. But just think, if he would have heard and seen the success of that album, and just think where this album would have headed. I wouldn't have headed more toward the half guitar thing. It would have been more of the, maybe Top of the World will still happen, but you know, the fond farewells and the nevers and stuff. There've been more of them, and I don't know. He just would have been happy. He would have said,
would have been.
"What I do is appreciated."
Yes.
He knew it was appreciated, you know. But you get in that dark hole when evidently, and you don't see it.
Yeah.
And but
Sometimes
he needed to
you
hear it.
can't.
No, and
Sometimes you
especially
can't.
when you're depressed
Yeah.
and you get in that hole,
Yeah.
it's not something we can see in.
No.
It's not something they can see out of. It's just the way it was and the way it is for a lot of people for during COVID too, you know. A lot of depression because there's no social outlet for people. They're stuck in their home. There's no touring. There's no live concerts. There's no movie theaters.
It is depressing in a lot of ways. You have to really reach in to find your happy place.
And you know, I wish that there was a way to get more people at the time, because Rebecca and I decided right when COVID hit that we were going to live as normally as possible. So they shut all the restaurants. You only get to go, right?
Yeah.
But you
Oh,
get
yeah.
you got your alcohol to go too. So we'd go, we'd get sushi, we'd get whatever it was, we'd get it, and we'd go park on the street here in town in front of a restaurant where people are getting their to go, and we'd eat there like it was our date night 3 nights a week. We would go out.
That's
We
fabulous.
didn't take it home. We sat in the car. Now, for a while they were saying, we don't want you driving, we don't want doing this. We'd go to Half Moon Bay and sit by the ocean and eat. I'm sorry, there's certain things I just wasn't about to do, and not being in my enclosed car wasn't something I was going to let happen. We were in the car, and I know people criticize me for it. They said stay home, you know, which just adds to the problem.
But you're in the
Well, there's just some things I couldn't do.
No.
And we lived as normally as possible according to the guidelines, and we were happy all year. And so many people, they didn't think about that, you know, you could at least, it's called reframing. Reframe it into something positive. How do you make a positive out of this? It's bad. It's really
Yes.
bad. It's really dangerous.
Yes.
But
yes,
let's make a positive.
Yes.
Okay.
You know, I do photography. You didn't know that already.
Yeah, you took pictures of everywhere. Every piece of dust in this studio now.
I've been
I
around.
have a picture of it.
But no, I since moving to Oceanside and keep being by the beach,
Yeah.
it's kind of a dream for me. It's always been a dream, and I'm feel like I'm living it. And then COVID hit, and then we were told to stay indoors. But one thing that I always made sure I took time for is I would take my camera out to our wharf, to our pier there, and I'd take pictures of the surfers, because there'd be surfers that would still go regardless. There was always somebody out there, always. And
It was all in the name of art, of course.
of course it was all in the name of
Oh,
art. It
brother.
was all for
All right, we'll let her finish her story. I know where this is. I know where this isn't going, but we have her figured out.
But
I take picture of the surfer because I like photography. Okay.
I just got up.
Yeah, it didn't sound quite right, Diane. Oh boy.
Oh my God. Well, I have to admit, now that I think about it.
Yeah. All right, and all those surfers, and they're on their surfboards out there on your walls
Well,
around
you
the
know,
room.
eventually they're all on the phone.
I noticed an alarm went off, and it kept saying "surfer alert."
Yeah, I know. Hang 10, hang 10.
Anyway, yes, I do
Oh,
know.
that's great.
I know
No,
you take
but
pictures and you like it. You know.
it was my sanity. It was my
Yes.
way of saying I have to have something, and being out in that ocean air.
Yeah.
And watching these talented bunch of people out there doing their thing and working on their thing, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to hone in on my thing, and it just seemed like all the planets align, you know. It was
Do you
like,
have
this is-
a telescopic lens where you can
Yes.
get right in on their butt and
Yes.
everything and
Yeah. Actually, I did.
busted? You see how she walked right into that one? Uh-huh. Yeah, because there's not a lot of female surfers,
I
mostly
have
male.
4 lenses.
4 lenses. Ay, caramba.
Oh my gosh, I caramba, right? Oh my gosh.
She
I'm
just
not-
walked right into it.
You
Look
know
at
it hurts. My husband's gonna be watching.
Oh, he knows I'm joking.
I say, yeah, well, you know.
And he knows the surfers are usually 25 years old.
Usually
too, so we're okay.
he's usually saying anyway. So been out there, huh? I can tell. I can tell. A little red around the cheeks.
If the thing is, if we could put the camera on at Dyanne's house, you'd see Keith, her husband, in the back waxing a surfboard. So we,
Oh yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
He's back
Absolutely.
there. He's very supportive of you,
now.
and I think it's wonderful that because you're like an archivist. I mean, you're the research and the things you put online. For me, my career and my band and everything, and ELP, that's gonna last forever. And he's very supportive of you and what you do. And I know you spend a lot of time doing it.
He is. He is
so
very
it's
supportive.
pretty like Rebecca is for me. Top of the world. They're you empower me, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, absolutely.
definitely.
And I think that we probably have taken our time here with Facebook.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Is there any maybe there's some last minute stuff here. Let's see.
Paul Keller says, "Can you shut up, please?" Oh, no, he didn't say that. It says he's watching. Have you been watching though?
Oh, he's been watching. It's amazing, isn't it?
Lovely tribute. Good. That's good. Lee Garber. Lee Garber is the guy that did the the stained glass. Excuse me.
Yes.
And his brother, Randy Garber, is a well-known light man, Steve Miller and stuff. So they're in the musical family and stage and all that. And Lee, a friend of Dwayne's and a guy that I know now, does these stained glass things. It's just the people that get together and music, what music does for you. I always felt that if a gang, cornered me in the corner, I'd say, "Oh yeah, I play with Greg Kinn," or Los Chicos del Norte. You know them? They have connections. You want to mess with me? Music's gonna make everything okay. So
I'm telling you, it's like if I had a speakeasy.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I swear it'd be like somebody knock on the door, open it, just see two eyes, right? ELP. Come in.
That's the password.
What's that Bieber guy?
Justin Bieber?
Justin Bieber. And some couple of big arm guys come out and take you out of there.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's what I would have. But anyway, I think that
we've done it.
I think we have, and I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart and the heart of all of our members and friends that are watching. I thank you so much for your time.
I love having you here.
Oh,
I got to say that Dyanne used to live 35, 40 minutes away in Pleasanton.
I did.
And it wasn't until she moved 6 hours away that she decided that she needed to come to the studio.
I actually lived, no joke, like an hour away for like 60 years.
That's really something. That's happy hour number 2? Oh my God.
Oh, I got 3 and then I'm done for. So we do have to wrap it. No,
yeah.
I'm kidding. I can't believe I was right here. And Keith was right here and Carl was right here. You were right here. I mean,
And Keith loved Los Gatos. We put him up in a hotel. He stayed at my house for a while, but he stayed in a hotel there during the earthquake. And was it 89, right?
Yes, it was 89.
Oh, yeah. He was so freaked out. I had a motorcycle then. He was driving it around. He drove to my house, and all the guitars were like, because they were all in stanza. They were all 100 guitars piled, and my grandfather's clock was all cracked up. And he opened the windows, and he just played my grand piano. And the neighbors were all in the middle of the block because they didn't be in their house because they didn't know what was going to happen.
Right.
Los Gatos really caved in.
Yeah, my girlfriend's next door neighbor's house went actually off a cliff.
Oh, jeez. Well, they had no idea that they were listening to Keith Emerson out my house windows because he was so nervous he played for 2 hours. Just played, and his eyes, he goes, "Do you want me to pick the guitar?" He calls me because I was down here getting the B3 work done, and there was no windows. That's why there's a window up there now, because when the earthquake hit and all the power went out, you couldn't see anything, and the serviceman was underneath the organ out there, and it's pitch black. He couldn't see anything, and he, help, help. He didn't know what happened, right? Fixing it for Keith, Keith had broken the keys. I need them fixed.
Poor Keith, though. He's never been in through
end of the
something
world.
like that.
He'd been in maybe a hurricane or something in England, they have that, but no earthquake, and it shook pretty good.
Oh, brother, I was in a store at the time up against a plate black glass window.
Oh.
And luckily Keith was with me, and I'm sitting there staring at the windows. It was doing this, and Keith just grabs me by the arm, and he's pulling me as stuff is just coming down here, coming down there. Things are falling from the ceiling. And I was buying these nylons cheap. So I had like a dozen in my hand. There's this trail of nylons going all the way from the window all the way over to this pillar. Keith saw a pillar, and he just grabbed me, and we just held onto the pillar. And I'll just never forget going out to the car at like 5:10 in the afternoon and turning on the radio to get some information, and it was dead silence. Dead silence. It's the first time in my life I didn't get a signal.
No radio,
And you had what, the traffic was up in the whirly-bird guy. He was up in the air doing the traffic report at the time, and
it was
just
pretty heavy.
That was pretty serious stuff.
I lived right downtown Los Gatos, close to where one street totally caved in, the other street was fine. And I lived right in the V of that, and Keith was, at that time, he had moved out of my house when he was at a hotel, so there was a pool in front, it was a small hotel with a pool, and the pool, the water went everywhere. And he got in that motorcycle, went to my house, and he was freaked out. He really he thought everywhere looked like that. That was the problem. He thought, oh my God, the whole United States,
world or something.
Anyway,
Oh my goodness.
we don't want to end it on that note.
We don't want to end it on that note. No. Moving on. But thank you so much. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. I am truly blessed to be able to sit here in the studio and talk some of the best music I've ever heard.
I appreciate that.
From your studio.
I wanted to give you some things that no one even knew were around. The video, I hope that you got some real special little nuggets that people can look forward to, because I've been hanging on to them. Not to keep them from people, but because they have to be like the albums. They have to be right before people see them.
You have to be ready.
It has to be right, really done and sounding good and looking as good as it can, and because it's a little fuzzy, Anyway, it's
good.
It's there.
It's
yeah,
gonna be.
Really
it's something for us all to look forward to, right?
Yeah.
So on that note, I think we're going to say
Hasta
thank
la
you
vista,
for watching.
baby.
Hasta la vista, baby. And take care. And you want to do some exit music? Got it. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. We love you. And we're going to say bye-bye.